Hey audiophiles, this is Mark for Audio 46, and today we're taking a look at a new addition to the high-end IEM market from Campfire. These are the Campfire Astrolith. At $21.99, I'm going to be figuring out whether or not this dual planar IEM packs a punch. Before we begin the video, I just wanted to thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing on these videos. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a comment or subscribe. Much like other IEMs from Campfire, these are packed with goodies. So let's take a look at what's in the box. You're going to find the Campfire earphones themselves, the Astrolith. These come with two silver-plated time stream cables. Both are MMCX connections with a 3.5 and 4.4 balanced connection. There's a sleek black leather case with a magnetic closure. You get 3 marshmallow tips and silicone tips that come in small, medium, and large. There's an earphone cleaning tool, a Campfire audio pin, and a dual mesh protective pocket bag. Campfire's attention to detail at this price point is great, and they make sure to pack this IEM with a ton of goodies. Both cable terminations means you have a variety in setups, and 6 different sets of ear tips means that you're gonna get the perfect fit with these IEMs, and I don't anticipate you having to get other ear tips. Moving on to the looks, design, and comfort of these IEMs, this is going to have a unique chrome look to them. These kind of look like IEMs that are standard issue on the Starship Enterprise, with the way that there are triangular designs on their chrome accents, and they're definitely flashy and a little ostentatious. So this might not be everyone's cup of tea, but at the same time, it might be yours. Personally, I found the chrome to be a bit too much. It's prone to fingertip prints, and also I found it a little underwhelming when I thought about designs like the Bonneville and Cascara that also have similar features. What the Astrolith does lack in subtlety, it makes up for in comfort. And these are really, really easy to fit. The cable's really comfortable, and like I mentioned before, you get all those ear tips, which means that you're gonna get a perfect seal out of the box. After doing a little bit of tip rolling, I found that the small and medium silicone tips were good for me, and they both let these IEMs sit perfectly in my ears. As a lot of us would expect from Campfire, especially at this price point, the top-notch build quality is there. So there's a steel outer housing with an AAOI 3D printed polymer inner housing. I really liked how they fit, but again, you should try them out for yourself to see if they fit your unique ear shape. Overall, if you're a fan of Campfire, I think you'll like these. These are a light, comfortable design that I think will work for a lot of people. Taking a look at the specs of this IEM, the heart of the drivers are going to be a 14.2 millimeter planar and a 6 millimeter planar tweeter. So you're going to get those in conjunction, and I didn't have any phase issues. I felt like I got all the frequencies out of those, and they worked well. The dual planar setup is quite an engineering feat for $2,200. Although they're a little bulkier than some of the other Campfire IEMs, they're not bulky at all, and they remain lightweight. Since the release of the Moon Rover, this is the next planar that Campfire has released, and I think we're going to be seeing more planar technology from Campfire in the coming years. The housing of this IEM is designed to extend bass range and bring out a little more mids. So I think that that's a great feature. Again, like you would think, these are pretty sensitive IEMs, and they'll have no problem being powered by either a dongle amp or a wireless body pack. The Astrolith boasts super low THD, and I got some pretty fast transients from here, making them clean and precise. Before we dive into the specifics of the sound signature, I just wanted to say that although these are planars, and I typically associate planars with a more detailed analytical sound, I found these IEMs to be more colored and bass forward. So if you're looking for a reference style or flat IEM, you might want to look elsewhere. But at the same time, this is really going to appeal to consumers in the high-end market who are looking for a fun listen with a lot of nice bass extension. The bass is prominent and extends pretty deeply with a push in the low mids, giving this IEM a nice warm sound. The highs, while detailed, do take a backseat to the bass. These are going to give a fun and exciting listen that's suitable to a lot of genres. Moving on to the staging of this IEM, it's a mixed bag in some ways. While there is a little extra width that you'd get from the 6mm tweeter that really puts some accuracy to the sound, it's not as holographic or rapping, as I like to say, that you might expect from IEMs at this price point. The intimate quality of IEMs is still there, but what you do get for trading off a little bit of those holographic features is some really pinpoint accuracy in their imaging. The clarity and precision of the Astrolith makes this a perfect tool for professionals who need pinpointing accuracy. At the same time, that deep bass sound signature can take away from some of the clarity in the soundstage, and although it's suitable for most genres and bass heads, it can get a little muddy at times, making the soundstage a little hazier than you'd expect. Although it's not the most expansive, it's going to be a great tool for audio professionals, performers, and music enjoyers who don't mind a more intimate soundstage. Talking about the star of the show, I wanted to start off with the bass frequencies. The Astrolith delivers really, really deep and heavy bass experience that extends deep into the low end. It's not quite as bassy as the Campfire Bonneville, but I would say that these might be the second bassiest IEM in the Campfire lineup currently. The bass texture is forward and palpable, and this really shines on tracks like My Meds Aren't Working by Dystopia. The clean guitars and bass line perfectly showcases how forward and extended the bass can get. Once this track transitions into a more high gain sound, you really feel how heavy and oppressive the low end can be, but in a good way. At the same time, this tuning does have its drawbacks. On tracks like Broken Cog by Meshuggah, the 8-string guitars that are down-tuned don't necessarily interact well with the kick drums and the bass that's present. Sometimes I felt that the sound got a little too muddy and I lost some articulation in the way, and although it was an exciting listen, I wasn't necessarily pleased with the separation that I got from these sounds. It's worth noting that this bass sound isn't necessarily the most natural in timbre, so if you're looking for a clear, natural IEM, these might not work for you. Although the bass sound isn't perfectly natural in its timbre, it does have some great low-end extension and pushes the low end really far forward. So if you're looking for a bass head style IEM that doesn't sacrifice on clarity, these might be right up your alley. The mid-range on the Astrolith is a little bit mixed because although there are some aspects that I did enjoy about the tuning, there were some aspects that I also think could have been improved upon. The noticeable push between 400 and 800 Hz made it a little boxy at times, and I don't think that this interacted that well with the bass sounds. Vocals can at times get lost in a busy mix, but this also depended on production style and the instrumentation of a track. I really enjoyed listening to live performances, which at times lack low end, as well as acoustic performances that are typically mixed bright in order to really get the detail and nuances out of sounds. I think the bass heaviness of the Astrolith really complemented these sounds and really let the mids shine in this context because it paired nicely with the way that these tracks were recorded. At the same time, when I listened to Photograph by Def Leppard, which I know is a really, really well-mixed song, and I know that that's a AAA mix and master, there were times where I felt the instrumentation overpowered the vocals. If you're a vocal lover and you really like the fit of these IEMs, I wouldn't tell you to stay away from them, but I would encourage you to use an EQ in order to tame the bass a little bit and bring up the mid-vocal sounds. The high frequencies on the Astrolith are definitely still there, but they're a little more recessed when compared to the bass and low-mid sounds. There's still plenty of detail in this IEM thanks to the 6mm tweeter that's in there, but it might not be as sharp and detailed as some might prefer. On the plus side, I got absolutely no sibilance while listening to these, but at the same time, cymbal sounds can be a little recessed in a mix. This made it a little difficult to get the nuances of cymbal sounds or stick attack, as well as microharmonics in an instrument. Taking a track like Cherokee by Jimmy Smith, for example, there's a searing edge to the hi-hat and a nice percussive quality to the Hammond B3 organ that just isn't there on these IEMs. The highs aren't bad by any means, but sometimes they might lack the sparkle or air that some listeners might prefer, especially for jazz or classical music. Its bass-forward tuning is sure to appeal to a lot of listeners, but maybe a little overwhelming to some. So if you're considering the Astrolith, here are the main points you need to remember. 1. The bass is deep, impactful, and forward, and it's perfect for bass lovers. 2. The mids are slightly detailed, but they do take a back seat, and vocals can get lost in busy mixes at times. 3. The highs are definitely detailed, but they do take a backseat to the low end. 4. The comfort on these are excellent, and even if you're not a fan of the flashy designs, I'm pretty sure that these are going to feel comfortable for extended listening sessions. 5. The build quality and accessories are top-notch from Campfire, which is what we've come to expect. The Campfire Astrolith is going to be a unique offering in the high-end IEM market. Its dual planar setup mixed with its bass forward sound signature definitely sets it apart from a lot of the competition. If you're a bass enthusiast who doesn't want to sacrifice on detail, these might be your new favorite IEMs. Again, I'm Mark for Audio 46, and this wraps up the Campfire Astrolith review. Let me know in the comments below if you like a bass-heavy tuning or if you prefer a flatter response. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and subscribe for more audio content. Happy listening from the folks over at Audio 46.